Balasab Thackeray kind of a person, I could never find a parallel to that in South India. In small pockets they might exist. In one village here, in some place there, but an entire city as large as Mumbai could be controlled by just one man. That I don't think it ever happened here.
તાજા સમાચાર તમારી ભાષામાં મેળવવા માટે ડાઉનલોડ કરો ગુજરાતી મિડડેની એપ.
When it comes to films, you go back quite often to Ram Gopal Verma ki Aag. There's a lot of reference to that film, almost as if that's the only film that you made that either you did not like or people did not like. Why the obsession with Ram Gopal Verma ki Aag? I mean, what is so bad about that film? I'm sure you made...
It's because of Sholay, not because of anything else. Because I revere Sholay so much in my entire life. I probably would put it again at the top of all the films I've seen. I know your views on it. I read your review when they released it in recent times. So I think taking something I revere so much and could do a job like that, I think it just weighs on me. That doesn't mean that I regret it. I don't mean that. But it weighs on my head, And also for me, there's like one of the greatest experiences I had in terms of I understood how films get made or unmade or why they would turn out to be what they are from the inception of the film. In the process, the loss in translation, for what reasons it can happen, it's been a great experience for me to understand that. That again is benchmark me to Sholay.
So there is Sholay, that's a huge benchmark for you. The other benchmark for you has been The Godfather. And as you mentioned in the book, much more the book than the film. You based Sarkar far more on Puzo's book, the novel, rather than Coppola's film and its trilogy. But you also again completely based it on Bombay. Do you think you would have made Sarkar if there was no Bal Thackeray?
No. Because see, for me, like you mentioned, the book and the film, there was a difference. I found the book far more intense and far more arresting compared to the film. Whereas I felt the book had a strong resonance with Balasab Thackeray. From whatever I heard of him, inside stories and the way he came up and the way he deals with the people and all that. And I never thought of Godfather as a gangster film. I never thought of it as a gangster at that point of time was to do with smuggling or whatever various businesses underworld do. In fact, if you look at Godfather, there not a single time they showed what he does actually, what the gangsters do. Not a single scene is there, Whereas I thought a person who's working outside the establishment, but he seems to be in control of this, and that's about power. That's about political power. That's about power which is coming from the people's love or respect for him. There I found a parallel with Balasab Thackeray and Godfather, So then I thought, my idea of the book, I tried to catch that pitch and put Amitabh Bachchan in Balasab Thackeray's place. Balasab Thackeray kind of a person, I could never find a parallel to that in South India. In small pockets they might exist. In one village here, in some place there, but an entire city as large as Mumbai could be controlled by just one man. That I don't think it ever happened here.
But were you apprehensive at the time that you were conceptualizing the film, given the power that Bal Thackeray had in Bombay, the sort of power he commanded? What can you get away with? If you piss him off, there is just no question of you living in the vicinity of Maharashtra in a certain way.
There are 2 points here. One is the man who's playing is Amitabh Bachchan. And Balasab Thackeray is known as a hero, especially in 2005 when it has come. People were almost like scared to say anything about Balasab Thackeray, and nobody will think putting Amitabh Bachchan in the lead role and I will show Balasab Thackeray in a negative way. I don't think anyone would have believed that also, So I never thought that can be a problem. In fact, unlike a lot of media reported that Balasab demanded that he is shown the film how he's being portrayed, that's not true. I myself went along with Raj Thackeray and invited him to see the film 3-4 days before the release. And he came out and he hugged me and getting into the car. Now, that was like an endorsement. After that, he actually started growing a beard like Amitabh Bachchan. So that's also the point. Say right now I'm making a film on Dawood Ibrahim. A lot of people say, how can you straight call him Dawood Ibrahim? See, Underworld is a business organization. They're not a terror organization where there is a certain ideology or something to gain or whatever. And any which way the media or the people think of them as gangsters. And when they see a Satya and company, they know that I show them as people. I'm not taking judgment, I'm not taking sides, or I'm not being judgmental about who's what. I'm telling the story of what happened in between them as people, and they would love it. They will be the first guys to love it.
But what if you show a crime that they've not been convicted of, and you're showing them, and in that sense, it's almost a confirmation of a crime involving anyone if you're calling them by their name. Could that be an issue?
See, there are two things there. But someone who's absconding from the law, somebody who's been convicted, they cannot have that right because they can't take the help of the same legal system and they themselves are not abiding by it. Second one is I'm also basing it on a lot of information which is out there in the public domain. Who will want to move against it? There are no reason to move against it. So these are the three factors which I don't believe they problem. Most of the times when filmmakers say that I got a call from there, iska naam change karo, uska naam change karo, this will be mostly people who just make a prank call from a different SIM card. The actual big guys, they don't care.
You think they're going to be happy about it? The fact that they are anyway out there in yet another domain?
Every human being will be happy when someone is making film. Without exception, yeah.
Ravu, there is a film that's going to be on you, if I'm not mistaken, if I heard right, and it will be on Ram Gopal Verma, the person, the filmmaker. I'm presuming there'll be elements of that. If you had to pick that one great story to tell in that film, what would be your favorite Bombay story and your favorite film-related story involving people that you would want to see on screen?
I would like to believe the time period when I was making Satya. Behind the scene, not about the making of the film, but what I went through. There were so many aspects of my life which are happening parallelly in the making of Satya. It could be my personal life, my professional life, and the kind of people I met, both in the underworld and in the gangsters, of course, the producers and all the big shots who were. So I think that journey for me between 95 to 19. Those 3 years, I think, is one of the most, memorable experience of mine. I would like to make something like that.
When you look back at your career, especially when it comes to cinema and this city, do you have any regrets, Ramu? Is there something that you would have, and I don't mean regrets in a way of feeling bad about it, but something that you would have changed, done differently in terms of films, in terms of being here, in terms of the stuff that you did or would want to do differently now?
I would like to believe I don't regret the film, but I regret what I made the actors go through in the making of art. They all had to suffer along with me, in fact, many times I apologize publicly on that, So I would like to believe that when you are a part of something, and any filmmaker, when actors or crew members trust you, that you know what you are doing about, I felt that I let them down. I'm okay with people saying anything about me or the film, With the exception of that, I can't really believe, I can't recall anything where I really regret something I've done.
Ram Gopal Verma, always a pleasure chatting with you. I really hope to have you actually again back on this show. There's just too many other things that we could talk about. This was only about cinema. Thank you so much, Ramu, for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah.
સબસ્ક્રાઇબ કરો ગુજરાતી મિડડે બેલ આઇકોન પર ક્લિક કરીને મેળવો તમામ વિડીયોના ડાયરેક્ટ નોટિફિકેશન.